Hey guys, I'm RedHerring. We're doing StarCraft casting today with myself as the blue Protoss, FTaCtHerring, spawning on the top right of Entombed Valley. And on the bottom left, we have Megaman, the red Protoss. So this is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss, and another macro heavy one. So this was, again, a little bit of a treat for you guys. Hopefully you will learn stuff and enjoy it at the same time. So yeah, for those of you who are on spring break or that has passed for you, I hope that did go well. Um, yeah, it's always good to have a break from school for those of you who do go to school. For those of you who work, not so lucky, I guess, but yeah, good times. So it looks like fairly standard. I'm scouting after my pylon, and this is basically something I always do, and he's actually not doing that, and I can kind of see the reason why. On 4-player maps, it can be useless to scout after 9 if you scout the incorrect way first, and say he scouted like this bottom right position and I wasn't there, then he would come up here, and but it would take a little while. So what he can do is wait and see the timing on my scout reaching his base, and using that logic he can deduce where I come from. So for instance, I'm going to be popping into his base at the right time as a probe from the opposite corner would if I scout after 9. And that might sound a little bit obscure and like, oh, how would you know that? Well, at this level, you kind of can tell anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised if this scout beelined for my base as opposed to making the rounds. But nope, looks like I am wrong. So yeah, this guy did not do that. I mean, it's not a fail-proof way of going about finding out where your opponent is. For instance, if I had scouted after gateway, like a 10 gateway, I would pop in at the same time as if I scouted after a 9 pylon from a position farther away. So I can see why he's just being safer in this aspect. But looks like I'm probing around, tickling the pylon, then getting out of there. Don't really do any hull damage, which is fine. Cybernetics core going down for him, which is going to be slightly ahead because I believe he did go for a 12 gate and I went for a 13. So he is going to be slightly ahead in that aspect, but I am. We are even in harvesters, and both going for the second gas. So something that some pros players do is they'll go with second gas. They won't actually put guys in second gas. They just do that to fool the scout, and then they'll 4-gate. And this is actually more common than, or it's becoming more common as people are so used to going greedy styles when they scout a second gas, because in the past, you know, when a pro player does get a second gas, it's like, oh, well, I'm free to tech, I'm free to do whatever, as long as I make a sentry. But really, a lot of pro players have been 4-gating or putting on some heavy aggression, and they'll trick players into thinking they are teching when they really are not. But it looks like he is actually teching because he is getting 3 stalkers, or 2 stalkers out of the gateway, and he does have 1 stalker out on the map, so it'll be a total of 3. And I am going for a very greedy Twilight Council, and this is something I know I've made videos on. Did he actually see that? I think he actually clicked on that, so I think he knows it's coming. I believe so. Yeah. He should know that this Twilight Council is in the making. Could be Dark Templar, could be High Templar, and I know I've mentioned in the past I do a lot of Charge Lot Archon builds, and I usually do that with High Templar, but I've been doing a lot of Dark Templar Charge Lot Archon builds just because you will basically straight up kill any Phoenix player, any play that goes for super fast gas heavy units that's not Robo. So like just 4-gate blink if another Charge Lot DT or Charge Lot Archon player goes for that build. It can be a DT against them will be very effective. So that's kind of what I've been favoring recently. It looks like my 3 gates are just finishing up, and I did pull away from the tower, noticing his stalkers probe up, then running back down, putting the pylon down there because I am getting my Dark Shrine. So I want a proxy pylon, or a forward pylon at least, to be able to cut down the rush distance, and then maybe I can sneak up here, but oh, actually juke away at the last second before he notices, and I decided to put one safer here and then try to put one up there, which is a pretty smart decision, as you really don't want to gamble on him not having any forces at the ramp. But it looks like he is going for an expansion super fast off, so a 2-gate expo adding a robo, and this is something that I do scout, and it's a fairly common build. if you can make sure that your opponent is not foregating, you can get away with fast expansion builds as long as you get detection pretty soon. It looks like he's going Immortal first, and my Dark Shrine isn't even close to being done. It's almost about a quarter of the way before finishing. And then I do know he's expoing, so I think I might try to put an expo down here. I'm not sure what this probe is doing, just patrolling around. There we go, putting down the expo. Getting a forge because I'm not sure. I did see the second gas. So I'm not sure if he's going for a DT expand build, which is something that I have encountered before. And I just want to make sure that I do have detection in case he goes for the same build I'm kind of going for. Dark Shrine is done. Dark Templar warping in at the bottom pylon and running up, but that observer is about to finish. I don't know if I can kill this. No, I will not be able to kill this robotics facility before he can get the observer out. So I'm running in, trying to slice that and dice that, but he notices, oh, you know, there are blurry units in my base. Must be Dark Templar. And I do try to juke away. So I had a couple options here. I could try to kill this, or I think I might have snagged a probe there, or I could save my forces, try to fight, live to fight another day, which is exactly what I'm doing here. No need to sacrifice such a heavy investment. I'm just going to try and get out of there, get a Dark Templar into the mineral line, and queue up some probes, which is exactly what I'm doing here. So if you look at the workers killed, 5 kills, 6 kills, going for the 7th, do get the 7th there. So not worth it, I would say, but not a total loss. If you look at the Harvester tab, I did bring him down closer to where I am here. His expansion, keep in mind, was ahead of mine, and is going to go Forge here as well. That's interesting. Yeah, so he is getting, he does have a Harvester advantage just because he got his expansion up a little bit earlier, but transferring my workers down here, so all in all, I think we're about even footing. Maybe he's a little bit ahead just because I do have this useless Dark Templar tech, which can't really do much except for make Archons. And getting charged, getting +1, I do know, note that I did not get a cannon anywhere in my base, and I'm instead going for a robotics facility because I do know that he does have observers, and I don't want him tracking my every move without me knowing it. Or I guess even if I did know about it, he could still track my every move because I would rather get a mobile form of detection than cannons, which are static and not quite as reliable as a form of detection. Or mobile detection, I should say. So it looks like he is getting his 3rd gas, 4th gas coming up now. Mine is coming up too. Harvester lead, we kept about the same. We've kept even in Harvesters generally. He's maintained a little lead for a little while, getting +1 attack. My +1 attack is a little bit closer to being done than he is. So it looks like he's going for a Colossus here, and this is just super standard. I mean, of course he's going to go for Colossus. Some players have been going for Stargate play, go for like Immortal, Stalker, Charge Lot, Void Ray, which is kind of a metagame thing that some players really like doing. It's kind of risky to engage with those types of army compositions in the mid game because just a Colossus based player, once scouting Void Rays, can just make a lot of Stalkers, and it's really hard to defend with Void Rays once their presence is kind of known, and once a player is prepared for it. So it's kind of a riskier thing to do, and that's kind of, I think, why he's not doing that. I mean, he knows he's kind of in the lead right now, actually getting a 2nd robotics facility right here, and I am getting my 2nd one too. No, I'm not. No, that's him. Yeah. Yeah, that's him. So, running up with this Archon, you might wonder, why did I not send a Zealot or a Stalker or a Probe to take the tower? Well, Archons have so much health, and I knew he had the tower because I think I ran something there earlier. And I'm not going to send a Dark Templar because I don't want it to die. So an Archon won't die, it'll just scare away the intruder at the tower, and then I can kind of take control of that. Looks like his observer is just going to sit right over there, grabbing a quick 3rd Nexus. And you might think, well, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, it's not really quick. Well, in PvP, expanding at all is kind of, it's a gamble for sure. And he is 29 supply ahead, 30 supply ahead. So if you look at my army, I mean, his army could just steamroll everything I have right now, especially with these double time Colossus coming out. But something that you probably, a trend you probably notice if you've seen some of my games is I kind of play a greedy style where I try to fake that I have more, and I try to fake that I'm being more intimidating than I really am. So getting some Immortals here, trying to crank out stuff as best as I can. I do have 7 warp gates here, which is not a bad number. Looks like he has 2 warp gates. Looks like he has 6. And then getting a Twilight Council. I think you might get the Twilight Council and then go for +2 attack instead of opting to get a faster armor or shield upgrade. Colossus, of course, benefit a lot from having attack upgrades as opposed to any other upgrades, so I can definitely see the reason he's doing that. Getting another expansion. So definitely playing really greedy, and at this point, because I have the tower, I mean, this is basically why I'm doing this. This is because I did scout in with a Zealot here, I believe. Yeah, I did scout in and saw he did not have a Nexus building, so I think, okay, the trend of PvP is to play very, very, very defensively. I mean, PvP is one of those matchups where it's not super fast-paced. It's more like, can I get a bigger ball of death units than you can? And it's kind of the way people play that is very passive. They'll do Dark Templar sometimes, they'll do Warp Prism, they'll do Phoenix, and then they'll just sit on 2 or 3 bases and max out on Colossus. And I'm trying to take advantage of that. That's what I'm gambling on him doing, which is super risky. But keep in mind, I was kind of behind in the early game, so this is kind of my way of getting back in this game. I figure, well, okay, I'm probably behind right now, and I know I'm behind on Colossus tech, because I did see all these Colossus when I ran my Zealot up there. So I'm thinking, okay, you know, I almost went for Stargates. I almost went for Voids. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to play it super safe. I'm going to go double time Colossus like he is, getting range. My upgrades are actually not looking bad right now. +1 or +2/+1 as opposed to his +1. Yeah, income tab, I am pulling ahead, getting my base here. It looks suspicious if you sneak expos and don't actually get your 3rd here, because a player of his caliber will realize, oh, he actually scouted. I didn't realize he scouted that. And he scouts this too. Jeez, yeah. A player of his caliber, when he scouts around and sees no 3rd at you know, the normal place to get a 3rd, he'll then check for snuck expansion. So it's just good to get a 3rd at your normal place eventually. To prevent preemptive scouting. But it looks like he actually already knows about all my expos going down. I'm surprised he's actually not doing that much. There he goes, sending out his Zealots across the map to deny those expansions there. I'm getting my Stargate because, as we all know, super late game Protoss vs. Protoss is all about the mothership. You really cannot win a late game Protoss vs. Protoss battle without a mothership. It's just so key. It's so key to have, especially in Colossus vs. Colossus battles. But look, 40 supply ahead. This is a trend we saw in I think the last Protoss vs. Protoss I casted, where I was behind a little bit in terms of supply for the majority of the game. Looks like his Zealots are coming in, snapping some probes down. Let's look at the workers killed. Yeah, 9-7, so he's definitely pulled ahead in that. And negated this expansion. I think, yeah, I missed it, but he actually took out the pylon here. I warped in a Dark Templar just to deal with the Zealots there, and the Zealots are just going to come across anyway and kill this expo. But my 3rd is up, so hopefully I can, yeah, transferring workers down there. Hopefully I can survive until I get some more Colossus out. Double pumping Colossus again. Keep in mind that my upgrades are superior, so maybe, it looks like he's waiting for +2, but he's going to be +200. I'm going to be 2-1. Almost have 2-2, so maybe, oh, Dark Shrine coming up for him, and then starting +3 before any of his other upgrades. Very nice. And then these guys probably need to attack the Nexus, but transferring my probes over. I want to save those as best as possible. Getting a fleet beacon, do need that mothership. And my gas is up, so I will be 3 base to 3 base, and generally want to use the Chrono Boost on a Nexus that is dying. Looks like I do not get the Chrono Boost off on that. But I am a little bit supply blocked because of the pylons and nexuses that have gone down, so I do need to start putting up pylons. There we go. And getting some more upgrades. This is, you know, he's being a little bit passive here. He definitely, I think he's probably scared, you know. The thing about Protoss vs. Protoss, especially because Colossus has such long range, is that any prodding that you would do in other matchups, prodding is like full-on engaging. Like, if you send your army, like, oh, I'll just poke at the front, see what he has. Laser beams of death will fly from the sky and slice everything you have. So you have to be super careful about seeing what your opponent has in scouting like that. But he's a terrible, terrible engagement. You do not want to engage on a ramp at this angle here. Looks like we're even in supply. I'm even a tiny bit behind. Pulling Zealots back, and here we go. The engagement should be fairly even here. Looks like all my Immortals getting clumped up, taking so much splash damage from the Colossus. My Colossus wailing away on his Stalkers. Keep in mind that I do have an upgraded advantage. That 2 armor definitely making the difference here. And I do pull away as my Immortal shields have gone down. I do not want to waste them. They will get sliced in half by this Colossus with no problem at all. So I need to wait for my Zealot reinforcements. Just need to take some damage with those Zealots and get the shots off with my Colossus. Looks like my Immortals instantly go down, but his do too. And now I have the advantage here. I'm chasing his Colossus with my Zealots, sniping them down as they try to skirt around this little area here. Definitely not what he wants to do here. He needs to run away in a linear direction as opposed to trying to skirt the edge there. Bringing in some Archons of his own. Archons are great at taking damage. I do have a single Dark Templar, and I know he did not have an Observer here because I have this Observer back here, and I realize he did not have any Observer with that army. It's actually stuck back here, which is now moving across. I think he has Observer speed for that. But yeah, just trying to slice, queuing up on the Colossus. Need to take down those priority units, and I am able to pull ahead. So, Mothership almost done. More Colossus coming out. Resources lost fairly even. I'm a little bit behind, but not by... he's not behind by a lot. Like the Workers Kill tab, fairly even again. So this is really anybody's game. We're each on 3 base. He's about to be on 4 as soon as he gets the saturated a little bit more. And taking my 4th base. Oh, I heard that sound. There's that Mothership. And I think he might even have one on... Yeah, he does have one on production. So we're going to see yet another macro Mothership versus Mothership battle. But look at the supplies. Now it's me being a little bit passive. I have... I could be maxed if I warped in the right units here. And he's not even close. He only has 5 Colossus compared to, like, a lot. Compared to 11. So I could run in and take the game here. But again, Colossus wars are just so... They're over so quickly. You can have the advantage in terms of army count, and then just due to positioning, you can lose just like that. And just a snap engagement. It's Protoss vs. Protoss is just one of those matchups. It encourages passivity just because of how the engagements work out. Looks like I'm going to snipe this Nexus. Definitely good to do that. I run in with these Zealots and see, oh, there's actually a lot of stuff. And again, I don't know the full extent of what he has here. I believe he does have an Observer over this army. Yeah, he does. So any attempt I had at detecting what he had here would be instantly denied. I am maxed, note though, and he is not. Grabbing that 4th again. My 4th is up. Need to start transferring some of these dudes over. Getting +1 armor just now for him. My +3 armor is going to finish. I think once that finishes for me, I might want to engage here. I am maxed. He is 50 supply behind. Trying to get that up though. Producing some more Colossus here. Could be spending his Chrono Boost a little bit more on those upgrades there. But overall, I'm just looking for the optimal engagement here. That first engagement really did go my favor because of the economic advantage I had from those snuck bases. Even though they went down pretty fast, I feel like they did provide enough of a boost for me to barely squeak by. And looks like he's actually scouting around for more snuck expansions. He realizes I'm definitely capable of that. He's going to be running in with this Dark Templar, and I'm maxed. I don't have any way to detect this guy because I didn't put down cannons here, and I don't want to run my army away. I don't want to give up map control. So it looks like I might try to Chrono Boost an Observer out here, running my probes away, though. Don't want to lose any of those guys. And that's just super annoying to deal with. I should have put cannons up, but I did not. And yeah, there's the Observer being Chrono Boosted out, and I probably want to bring down something to detect this guy. How many kills does he have? 6 kills, so not horrible, but there's the Stalker coming down. Ugh, my reaction, probably not the best. Actually, definitely not the best, but I don't know what this Observer is doing. Just scouting for any base there, I guess. Taking an expansion here, my money is looking good. His money is a little bit low, but keep in mind he's maxed out, so I let him... Again, we're both being a little bit passive, but there's really no way to know... I don't know, it's weird to explain unless you guys play Protoss and you know how this matchup works. It's so hard to take the correct advantage. I mean, you don't know whether you're being passive or whether you're just ensuring your victory. It's a fine line. So I am full energy on this Mothership. Looks like he is going to be in a little bit as well. This Dark Templar is still scouting for bases, but I'm not sneaking expansions on this side of the map. I'm actually on this side. So he does not know that. Putting up some cannons, looks like yeah, that Dark Templar did was shoon away. Oh, eating some shots from those Colossus, super annoying. Need to remax on Stalkers. There we go. Nice forward pylon there. And looks like I should try to get the concave. This is the big engagement we've been looking for. Oh, he doesn't have an observer, or it's sniped or something, but his Colossus were not shooting for so long. I actually vortexed his mothership. I get the mothership down the vortex. Nice blink, picking off so many Colossus there. And I just am steamrolling everything he has going into the vortex. I'm not sure if this is actually the best idea, but I'm doing it anyway. I do have my mothership. He does have enough for another vortex. I don't know if I'm going to use that. Everything instantly melting under this cascade of fire. His zealots do not have any detection at all, or no, he did have detection, or did he? I don't know. I don't think he actually had an observer over this army. I think it got sniped because his units were all clumped up, not attacking for the longest time there. And I just vortexed the mothership. He couldn't do anything and just steamrolled everything. And he does call the GG as I'm taking my expansion here. So, guys, that was a pretty intense PvP. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, motherships is the key to Protoss vs. Protoss late game. Just reinforcing that with this game. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment, rate, subscribe. I'll have more games out soon. Thanks, guys.